Time has come for the post position draw for the Longines Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby presented by Woodford Reserve. We'd like to welcome everybody on site here at Churchill Downs, all of the Kentucky Derby social media platforms, and those joining us on Peacock. The post position draw right here from Churchill Downs is brought to us by Ford. Joe Christopher, joined by Kevin Kilroy in the studio. Last year, Kevin, Mystic Dan, Sierra Leone, Forever Young, a Kentucky Derby 150, a historic running, and one we will never forget, a new cast of characters for the Derby, obviously, again this year.
Yeah, Joe, with the draw, you could see it with Mystic Dan. He got the win in the photo there, just up by a little bit. When he drew to the inside in the number 3 hole, we knew that Brian was going to be able to work out a rail trip. Brian executed it perfectly, but it started right now with the draw where he got that perfect spot. So much at stake in terms of the draw, in terms of running style, in terms of who you draw up next to. So excited to see how this plays out.
20 horses will enter the starting gate for the Kentucky Derby, 14 for the Kentucky Oaks. Derby draw in just a moment or two, but of course, it's ladies first. The draw for the Longines Kentucky Oaks. Let's send it down to Steve Butterman with the call to post for the post draw.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Churchill Downs as we're here tonight to draw the 151st Kentucky Oaks and the 151st Kentucky Derby. I can't think of a more perfect night or setting to do these draws. On stage with me, Miss Kentucky will be hanging up the silks, Miss Chapel-Tinius. To my left, your right, Dan Bork, the Assistant Racing Secretary and Stakes Coordinator for Churchill Downs, and Ben Huffman, Vice President of Racing and Racing Secretary for Churchill Downs. We're going to draw all 14 Oaks fillies, take a brief break, reset the board, and then draw the Kentucky Derby after that. And with no further ado, let's do it.
Fourteen of them. Ready? Number 9.
9, Tenma, Juan Hernandez.
Number 9, Tenma, the top filly from the West. Tenma dropped off in speed figures in the Santa Anita Oaks, but that was her first start since February, and trainer Bob Baffert said she's light-bodied but aggressive in the mornings, and they've been trying to get her to chill a bit. She had her final work this morning with Martin Garcia, but Juan Hernandez has the call in the Oaks. Number 9 is Tenma.
Number 5.
5, Quick Kick, Umberto Rispoli.
Number 5 is Quick Kick. Trainer Tom Amos's Serengeti Empress popped the gate and went wire to wire to win the Oaks back in 19. But if Amos is to win again, it'll be from off the pace with late running Quick Kick. Amos likes the setup with the amount of pace on paper, but, quote, there's no doubt we have to improve our position right out of the gate. He said no more head starts for the others. Number 5 is Quick Kick.
Number 10.
10, Take Charge, Milady, Brian Hernandez.
Number 10, Take Charge, Milady. Brian Hernandez Jr. and Kenny McPeak have occupied racing's headlines for the past year and will hope to keep it going with this Ashland runner-up. She tried to run down Lacara, who was loose on the lead in there, and nearly did so. Brian said he needs to help her out a bit more and get her going earlier to be successful in the Oaks. That's number 10, Take Charge, Milady.
Number 11.
11, Good Cheer, Luis Saez.
Number 11 is Good Cheer, unblemished in 6 career starts. Good Cheer figures to be the clear favorite.
11 is my
come post time
favorite
in the
with
Oaks.
Louis. I'm
Trainer
taking
Brad Cox says distance is her friend, and that when it comes to legging up Luis Saez, he's not an instructions guy, but he does dig into the pace to figure out where to be early in the race, and he'll do so with Good Cheer, number 11.
He's one of my favorites.
Number 12.
12, Anna's Promise, Junior Alvarado.
Number 12 is Anna's Promise, claimed for just $50,000 3 races ago. She won right away for Bell Racing and Carlos David before a gutsy runner-up finish to fellow Oaks rival 5G. Whether or not she can handle the Churchill Downs surface is not a question. She finished second here last year. Anna's Promise, number 12.
Number 2.
2, Simply Joking, Florent Giroux.
Number 2, Simply Joking. Trainer Whit Beckman will try for his first Oaks with Simply Joking, who was in a real dogfight with fellow rival Quiet Side last time out. Whit is hoping for different circumstances, saying, "It wasn't the trip we wanted. We did not intend to end up on the inside of her, but it was a good education in the end." Simply Joking, number 2.
Number 14.
14, Quiet Side, Jose Ortiz.
14, the outside post in the Oaks for Quiet Side. Trainer John Ortiz admires Quiet Side's tenacity. He said he's seen her in trouble, in traffic, in a dogfight, and she prevailed each time. He added her biggest asset, though, is being push button, which will come in handy in this bulky field with various possible pace scenarios from post 14 for Quiet Side.
Number 13.
13, Bless the Broken, John Velasquez.
Number 13, Bless the Broken.
Yes, 13, Bless
Number 13 is Bless the Broken for jockey John Velasquez. She'll be starting just to the inside of Quiet Side from post 13 in that just over 1 furlong run to the first turn. 13, Bless the Broken.
Number 1.
1, Early On, Edgar Zayas.
Number 1 is Early On. C2 Racing's Early On narrowly lost the Gazelle to fellow Oaks rival Ballerina Doro last time out. But Mark Cornett of C2 Racing and her trainer Safi Joseph firmly believe their filly is really progressing and one of the few that can get 10 furlongs alone, let alone the 9 furlongs of the Oaks. Number 1, Early On.
Number 7.
7, Lacara, Dylan Davis.
Lacara, which means the face, number 7 Lacara, put her face in front last time out and nobody could pass it. Already a graded stakes winner here at Churchill Downs, she figures to be prominent in the opening stages for her owner breeder Tracy Farmer, a native Kentuckian who won his first graded stakes as an owner back in 2000 with the very cool Albert the Great Lacara.
Number 6.
6, Ballerina Doro, Flavian Pratt.
Any meaningful pace in the Oaks will suit number 6, Ballerina de Oro, who likes to come from off the pace for John and Carla Capek's Rodeo, not Rodeo, Creek Racing. John Capek originally from upstate New York and his wife will be here next weekend, but tonight they're not, as they're attending the AC/DC concert in Las Vegas, which was the first concert they attended together years ago. That's Ballerina Doro.
That horse.
Number 8.
8 is 5G, Manny Franco.
Trainer George Weaver, conditioned Grade 1 winner Vacoma, who dominated the freshman sire scene last year with 39 winners. One of those was 5G, who went wire to wire in the Gulfstream Park Oaks last time out and is one of several with speed in here. That's number 8, 5G.
Number 3.
3 is Fondly, Irad Ortiz.
The Virginia Oaks winner number 3, Fondly, is owned by Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners, who will also start journalism in the Derby. But Fondly, per Aaron Wellman, is the polar opposite. She was a bargain basement buy compared to the blockbuster buy of journalism, but they love her trajectory and the fact that Irad Ortiz purposely rated her last time. He believes, Aaron does, the talent is there. It'll be a question of seasoning for number 3, Fondly.
And the 4.
Number 4 is Drexel Hill, Ben Curtis.
Number 4, Drexel Hill, is one of 2 starters for Whit Beckman, who is a native Louisvillian and a graduate of St. X High School just up the road here from Churchill Downs. Drexel Hill has a complementary running style to his other starter and is coming in off a small break, which Whit said giving her the time has made a huge difference. That's number 4, Drexel Hill. And those are the pose positions for the Kentucky Oaks, 9 furlongs next Friday. We'll take a brief break, send it back up to Joe and company in the Aristides Loft. We'll reset the board and we'll be back with the Derby after this.
Longines Kentucky Oaks has been drawn, field of 14. The question is, how low will Good Cheer go on Mike Battaglia's morning line? We'll find out moments from now. Luis Saez for Brad Cox, post position number 11 for Good Cheer, Kevin. And there's a long run into the first turn, going 1.1 miles to a certain extent, not as long as the 1.25 miles of the Kentucky Derby, but I don't think that post position detrimental at all to the expected favorite. The speed is where we're looking, though. Simply Joking post 2, Lacara post 7, 5G post 8, Quiet Side post 14. And I like the fact that Quiet Side draws post 14 here. A lot of people might think, oh, that's a poor post. Should be able to settle right into a stalking position behind the horses that should go forward.
I think you got to worry with Quiet Side's running style that she's going to get caught wide. She's going to lose a ton of ground and maybe get a little bit in a tough spot because of that. Really interesting to see Lacara forward, 5G forward. Tenma has run best forward. Those three, the break's going to be key. They're going to be trying to get the jump for position and inside speed. This thing could heat up. I think it's a really tough draw for Quiet Side. And of course, Good Cheer. She can work it out from anywhere, but she's got a really nice spot to just slot in behind those speedsters in the middle.
Yeah, Simply Joking of the speed. She's the one that draws inside. If you ask Whit Beckman, I'm sure he would rather have her. You heard in Travis's comment, would rather have her drawn outside of the other speed so they can kind of make their own trip, not having to go from the rail.
Well, Whit has always said that she doesn't have to go forward. She didn't win on the lead on debut. She had trouble at the gates. She came flying late to win that stake for her maiden victory first time out. I think she might have to prove that there. I think she might just have to sit behind those and really see if she can run them down.
Yeah, the way she trains in the morning, though, it looks like she's going to go. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out with Simply Joking, who has shown speed in all of her two-turn races, with the exception, of that sprint win debut. That was a sprint. Obviously, a route is a different story. She came from out of it in breaking her maiden against Stakes Company. Taking a look at the morning line odds, 6-5 on Good Cheer. That grouping behind her, though, Kevin, Lacara, the second choice at 6-1, Quiet Side 8-1. I would love to get anywhere close to that on her, and Simply Joking up there at 10-1, all right behind a Good Cheer, who is almost an odds-on favorite here.
Yeah, we see, a handful of 30-1s that are going to offer that value. Cheers to Mike Battaglia making 6-5 on Good Cheer. I think that the market will get behind her in a big way, and you will get better prices because of that. Quiet Side 8-1 seems like that seems like a price that you'd want, right? Because she's really been in great form for John Ortiz. Love to see that. In terms of the bombs, Joe, you got to think that Fondley has done no wrong, right? Just 2 races, so not much seasoning, but love to get a big price on her. And Drexel Hill has been finishing like nobody's business. So if this pace does heat up, watch out for Ben Curtis up on that with Beckman Trainee coming late.
Yeah, this is going to be the toughest test of Good Cheer's career, but she has never tasted defeat. She is a perfect 6 for 6 going into this. She's won many of her races by open length. She's also overcome some adversity in some of those races. She has run exceptionally well at Churchill Downs, and she has trained well in the mornings leading up to her favoritism in the Longines Kentucky Oaks coming up this coming Friday here at Churchill Downs. Again, some debate on Quiet Side. You mentioned maybe she'll get hung out to dry into that first turn. She likes to go forward, but she can certainly, I think, settle. We'll have to wait and see. I would rather her be outside and have an opportunity to make her own trip than get buried down on the inside. And I got a feeling maybe Johnny Ortiz will agree.
Yeah, I do think that it's a have the pedal to the metal straight from the gates. She'll be able to watch that, the rider will be able to watch that and sort of slot accordingly, maybe get right behind them and be able to save some ground that first turn.
Yeah, Good Cheer, a perfect 6 for 6, looking to make it 7 for 7. We've seen some long shots that have trained well as well. The handicapping process can continue for the Kentucky Oaks, but we still need a draw for the Kentucky Derby presented by Woodford Reserve. Let's send it back down to Travis Stone, calling his 11th Kentucky Derby this year. Travis?
And once again, everyone, welcome back to Churchill Downs. It's time to draw the Kentucky Derby. If everybody could grab their seats. Seats thou shalt grab for the draw for the 151st Kentucky Derby. Full field of 20 set to start 1 week from today in the Run for the Roses. Note that number 21, there is an AE entry, and that's Baeza. And note that Baeza will have Flavian Pratt, and that is Flavian's first preference Scratch time for both the Oaks and the Derby is 9 a.m. next Friday. So we will know the fate of Baeza and Flavian Pratt by that time. Full gate of 20, shall we? Let's do it.
All right. We'll go 20 runs.
Number 18.
18 is Sovereignty, Junior Alvarado.
Number 18, post number 18, Sovereignty. Michael Banahan of Godolphin said last year's Street Sense Stakes right here at Churchill Downs, where Sovereignty won his first race ever in a stakes, was the right calculated risk. Now, as a 3-year-old, they believe the light bulb has come on with him, and he's settled nicely into Churchill Downs. Trainer Bill Mott has been giving glowing reviews of Sovereignty's recent works. He's number 18.
Number 3.
3 is Final Gambit, Juan Machado.
Number 3 is Final Gambit. Final Gambit went so wide to win the Jeff Ruby Stakes, he was practically in downtown Cincinnati. It was a Derby-like winning move, but it was not on the Derby surface of dirt. Trainer Brad Cox is undeterred by the surface, saying if they're doing well and they're working well, you'll get an honest effort out of them. That's number 3, Final Gambit.
Number 20.
20, Owen Almighty, Javier Castellano.
Post position number 20 to Owen Almighty. Travis Boersma had aspirations of rebuilding horse racing in Oregon when he first entered the business. His Flying Dutchman breeding and racing has since expanded to Kentucky. They aspire to name every horse they acquire within 24 hours via a family vote. Owen Almighty, who is only one of 3 horses with wins here at Churchill Downs, is named after his second youngest son, Owen. Owen Almighty, post 20.
Number 12.
12, East Avenue, Manny Franco.
Number 12, post number 12 for East Avenue. After a flashy start to his career, East Avenue frustrated in his next 2 starts before rebounding in the bluegrass, causing Brendan Walsh to wonder if everything had been so easy for East Avenue that he just needed to knuckle down and fight a fight. Brendan insists from a talent point of view, East Avenue is as good of a horse as he's ever had. East Avenue, number 12.
Number 1.
1, Citizen Bull, Martin Garcia.
Post position number 1 to Citizen Bull. Last year's 2-year-old champion disappointed in the Santa Anita Derby, but trainer Bob Baffert said the colt needed the race off a 2-month layoff before adding that Citizen Bull is the happiest horse with a great personality, and he's been bouncing around Churchill Downs this week. He will break from post 1, Citizen Bull.
Number 8.
8, Journalism, Umberto Rispoli.
Number 8 is Journalism. Seeking a name ending in ism, the ownership group of Eclipse Thoroughbreds, Paul Braverman and Robert LaPenta, settled on, for no particular reason, Journalism, but it didn't take long for his ability to shine, and Journalism became known as Gorilla, until jockey Umberto Rispoli climbed off him one day and started calling him King Kong. Aaron Wellman of Eclipse says Journalism is one of those it-factor individuals with a mind built for execution, and he'll use that from post 8, Journalism.
Number 16.
16 is Cole Battle, Juan Vargas.
Number 16 is Cole Battle. Good horses and good horsemanship are always a theme in the Derby, and Cole Battle is what happens when there's synergy between the two. It was a loss on turf when Lonnie Briley, a Louisiana native, started to believe Cole Battle had a future. And sure enough, Cole Battle became his first graded stakes winning horse, outpacing his previous top money earner by more than a factor of 5. 16, Cole Battle.
Number 13.
13 is Publisher, Irad Ortiz.
Number 13, post 13 for Publisher. Despite 0 wins to his name, Publisher secured a top spot in the Derby after rallying nearly 15 lengths to finish second in the Arkansas Derby. Trainer Steve Asmussen says he's always shown quality with some unfortunate trips. When I asked Steve about his ability to develop horses over time, he added, training is about having horses mentally and physically ready to have them do what you're about to ask them to do. And he hopes that publisher is ready to do so from post 13.
Number 10.
10, Grande, John Velasquez.
Number 10 is Grande. Looking to shake things up, trainer Todd Pletcher elected to prepare Grande for the Derby right down I-64 at Keeneland. In the Wood Memorial, Grande was wide on the first turn before launching a sustained middle move to a runner-up finish. The distance per Todd, with 2 9-furlong races under his belt, will certainly suit Grande in the Derby. Post 10.
Number 17.
17 is Sandman, Jose Ortiz.
Number 17, Sandman, post 17, so heavily touted on debut. Sandman went off at nearly even money in his first start last summer right here at Churchill Downs. Jockey Jose Ortiz says his goal is to keep Sandman in the clear, not get him stopped, so that he can get into his, quote, beautiful stride. Sandman, 17.
Number 14.
14, Tiz-tastic, Joel Rosario.
Number 14, Tiz-tastic. Trainer Steve Asmussen believes the difference for Tiz-tastic will be the distance. He says he'll run all day long, jumping a long way with each and every stride. He's also hoping Joel Rosario, who he said rode Epicenter freakishly beautiful a few years ago to a narrow defeat, will do similar. He said, you run races in your head and you imagine them working out for you. He said, I can see Tiz-tastic being Rich Strike in this race. Tiz-tastic, 14.
Number 15.
15, Render Judgment, Julian Leperoux.
Number 15, Render Judgment, broke his maiden right here at Churchill Downs last October for trainer Kenny McPeak, who, of course, swept both the Oaks and the Derby last year, but might soon be more known for his appearance on the Netflix docuseries Race for the Crown. Kenny McPeak, the trainer of 15, Render Judgment.
Number 7.
7, Luxor Cafe, Joe Moreira.
Number 7, Luxor Cafe is one of 2 Japanese runners in this year's Derby. He's rattled off 4 consecutive wins, including a narrow victory over rival Admire Daytona, where the 2 of them threw it down, finishing 12 lengths ahead of the 3rd place finisher. His rider, Joe Moreira, is known as the Magic Man. It's number 7, Luxor Cafe.
Number 9.
9, Burnham Square, Brian Hernandez.
Number 9, Burnham Square's small frame comes with a big kick. And trainer Ian Wilkes says without frequent racing, he'd be bouncing off the walls. Ian also admires how jockey Brian Hernandez Jr. handles the pressure he's been under since last year. He added, Brian is worth a few extra lengths at Churchill. And as we saw last year, every length and nose matters. Burnham Square, number 9.
Number 19.
19, Chunk of Gold, Jareth Loveberry.
Number 19, Chunk of Gold, for first-time Derby starting trainer Ethan West. He started to believe in Chunk of Gold when they stretched him out in his second start, and he ran so exceptionally well despite being green. Ethan said he's a mix of anxious, nervous, and excited. In fact, he doesn't even know where he's going to watch the race from yet. Chunk of Gold, number 19.
Number 6.
6, Admire Daytona, Christophe Lemaire.
Number 6, Admire Daytona, winner of the UAE Derby earlier this month and later than usual. Admire Daytona was the first of 2 Japanese runners to arrive here at Churchill Downs. The UAE Derby, like the Louisiana Derby, is run over 9.5 furlongs, making it just a 16th shorter than the Derby itself. Admire Daytona does have some speed if he needs it from post 6.
Number 11.
11, Flying Mohawk, Joseph Ramos.
Number 11, Flying Mohawk. Trainer Whit Beckman made his Derby debut last year and is back again with the late-running Flying Mohawk. The Derby will be Flying Mohawk's dirt debut, but Whit said everything was going so well on turf, they didn't consider changing surfaces. He then added, on dirt, no one has outworked him. Flying Mohawk, number 11.
Number 5.
5, American Promise, Nick Juarez.
Number 5 is American Promise. He will be Dwayne Lucas's 51st starter in the Derby. He's a 4-time winner. American Promise and Nick Juarez, who is making his Derby debut, won the first ever running of the Virginia Derby on dirt before a packed and raucous house at Colonial Downs to qualify. Number 5, American Promise.
Number 4.
4, Rodriguez, Mike Smith.
Number 4, Rodriguez. Like his sire, Authentic, Rodriguez does his best running on the lead, which is how he qualified for the Derby in the Wood Memorial. Bob Baffer says Rodriguez's motor sometimes runs too hot, and that Mike Smith, who never fights horses, is the perfect pilot. Rodriguez, number 4.
And the 2.
Number 2, Neo Equus, Flavian Pratt.
Number 2, Neo Equos. Co-owners of Neo Equos, Clint Cornett and Mark Cornett of C2 Racing, fell in love with the game through the gambling side at Louisiana Downs, chasing pick 6 carryovers at the Bossier City Oval, which it was once famous for. The first horse they bought was White Abarrio. Thus, Neo Equos is not their first Derby starter, as White Abarrio ran in the Derby in 2022. Neo Equos. We good? All right, thanks to Ben and Dan. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight and for taking the time as we work our way toward the Oaks and the Derby. Enjoy the rest of your evening here at Churchill Downs, and best of luck to everybody. Good night.
Post position draw for the Kentucky Derby has been complete. We'll take a look at this draw board and journalism. The consensus favorite for Kentucky Derby 151, post position number 8. 2 other horses that are expected to take money: Sandman, Sovereignty. 2 closers draw to the outside. Long run into that first turn. Sandman, number 17, Sovereignty, number 18. I think one of the things that we notice very quickly and certainly should be a factor in the Derby, you would think the speed, most of it drawn down to the inside. Maybe the winner of this draw, East Avenue, from post position number 12. He has natural speed from the gate. And then also from post position number 20, Owen Almighty. You would think that he would go forward as well. But Kevin, you've got Citizen Bull from the rail. You've got Neo Equos from post position number 2, American Promise from post position number 5, and Rodriguez from post position number 4. Those are for the speed types drawn all in the inside gates.
Drawn all in the inside gates. And I think who's got the advantage? I think that's a tough spot for them. They're all going to be knocking heads right out of the gates, right? Trying to get that forward spot. And then you've got Luxor Cafe, that very talented Japanese-bred runner who's coming over. And then you've got Journalism. They can slot in right behind as that basically gets vacated as those speedsters go forward. So that space will be open for them to sit that trip right behind them where they want to be.
East Avenue, Brendan Walsh has said that he doesn't necessarily need to be on the lead. We haven't seen that in his races. So if he's going to show the talent that we know he has and project a different running style in the Kentucky Derby, he's got the perfect post for it, Kevin. He's got speed, but he's drawn right in the middle. All the other speed, with the exception of Owen Almighty, drawn to his inside. This is one of the big winners of the draw outside of Journalism, who's the favorite, who got an excellent post, obviously.
Yeah, Joe, we often see the speedster who's drawn to the outside. They're able just to get a little bit more from their horse to ask them to see what they need to do and how much they need to ask him to get him forward. And he's got that advantage to maybe get to the front.